I don't know where I would be today if I hadn't gone through what I went through with my grandfather, if I hadn't met the Children's Advocacy Center, if I hadn't been sexually molested as a child. And not just sexually molested, but by my grandfather. I'm not so sure I would be who I am today, and I'm not so sure that I would be here today and be the person that I am. I was 6 years old when it started, and I was 8 years old when it ended. My grandfather was a truck driver, and so he wasn't there, you know, some weekends or some weeks. When he was there, it would happen if I spent the night. There was signs that there was something wrong. As a parent, that's the worst thing you can ever think of to ever happen to your child, especially to someone that they care about, you know, someone that's close to them. And the most awful part about that is that the majority of sexual abuse occurs from someone that the person knows. I feel what happened to me as something that had to happen so I could see and I could understand what it was that I was going to do with my life and the difference I was going to make. I'm pretty positive that the only reason it ended and the reason I told was because he moved. I felt safe with my mom. I knew she would do what she needed to protect me, to protect other people, and I knew she would understand. And so I told my mom. After that day, everything moved pretty fast. I got to go to the Children's Advocacy Center, and I got to get interviewed, and that was scary. I sat in this room with this one person, and what if they don't believe me, you know? What if they tell me I'm lying? I was really, really nervous that they weren't gonna believe what I said. I didn't know them well enough to know if I could trust them. And, I got the vibes that I could, but at the same time, it was like, I only opened up to people I could trust.
It's amazing that we were able to accomplish our job without the center. A crime would be reported to the police. A patrol officer would go out and talk to the child, interview the child. It would be turned over to the investigators. The investigators would go interview that child. CPS would get involved, interview the child. The DA's office would then interview the child. To have to go through something in the first place and then have to sit down with strangers 4 or 5 times to go through their story and relive that has got to be traumatic. Even the situation that we have now, they still have to go through it at least once so that we can have the forensic interview, that everybody can get the information that they need to perform their job function.
What got me through it all was that the people were really, really nice, and they made me feel comfortable to the best of their ability and safe. And then the constant thought of, I have to do this. I have to protect them. I have to get him somewhere where he can't hurt anybody again. After the interview, they were had these walls and walls of teddy bears. And I was just amazed. I was like, what do you guys do with all these teddy bears? And they're like, well, you get to pick one just for you, and you get to keep it forever. You get to take it home with you, and it's your teddy bear. I saw this one, and it was brown bear, and it was just normal brown bear, and I was just like, okay, I want that one. Had these eyes that just looked at me, and they knew. I still have that teddy bear to this day. I started going to therapy, and I did group therapy for a really long time. We would do activities in group therapy. We would talk a lot about how important we were as people and how this doesn't define who you are.
The group counseling, we feel, is very important to the children and their parents because it helps them connect with other children and adults who are experiencing similar kinds of problems from abuse. And they can give each other mutual support and help to share effective techniques that they've used within the family to help overcome the abuse issues.
Group therapy is really great. I loved it. I loved getting to know the girls and knowing that I wasn't the only one. That was really nice. That's something that individual therapy can't give to you, is knowing that you're not the only one. And then I just got to the point where, you know, I've talked about this before, I've talked about it a lot, but, you know, once I got my self-confidence back, and I just needed to talk to somebody and just be like, this is this and that and this, and what do I do when I feel like this? And when you're sexually molested, it's not just that. Your relationships with people change. You become, I don't want to say a harder person, but you become someone who's seen the world. You become different from who you were before. You're not ever that same naive little girl that I was, you know, before it happened.
When Jessica came in, I did a lot of the things with her case that I do with almost all my cases. Educating them on the legal system, trying to decrease their anxiety, trying to put them more at peace with the criminal justice system, and educating them on what to expect. Oftentimes, the most difficult part, in my opinion, is having to face the person that hurt them.
I think the one thing I was not braced for was having to see my grandfather during the trial. And I guess it helped that he never looked at me. During the entire trial, he looked at the wall. And I'm pretty sure I looked at him throughout the entire trial. I didn't cry. I think that surprised a lot of people that I didn't cry. But I'm my daddy's girl, so I wasn't gonna cry. I don't think that the people who have helped me realize what a huge difference they made in my life. And I don't think that they realize just how much of an impact they make on the children that they come into contact every day with, on the parents they come into contact every day with. Everyone that came into my life back then just sort of created this bubble for me. And I knew I could go to any of them and I'd be safe. And I wouldn't be where I was today. I wouldn't smile like I do now. I wouldn't be going to college. And, you know, I think that they really helped me shape who I am today. And I'm proud of the person I am today. And I want to give back. I want to make someone smile.